Mmm, mmm, mmm. What's good, YouTube? This is the season to be jolly. Yes, it is not Christmas yet, but it is spot prawn season. That's what I'm talking about. You know, BC is all about the spot prawns. They are juicy, plump. Oh, I can already taste it in my imagination. And this year they were pushed back a whole entire month. So usually the season starts in May, but now it was released in June. And I'm gonna go and get some for us today so that I can show you a few ways to eat it, prep it, and how to even approach it, because you might not have tried it before, but it is so delicious. And right now it averages around $16 to $20 a pound depending on where you get it. I'm heading to Fresh Ideas Store here because they're my go-to. They have such clean, fresh seafood all year round, whether it's frozen or fresh. So here are the 4 pounds of live stretch spot prawns. Oh, this one's still jumping. It does say here to advise you to consume on the day of purchase or remove the heads to store overnight. So you'd want to kind of detach that, and then you can have that for the next day if you plan on eating the next day.
But of course, eating fresh on the day of is always the best. As you can see, I have emptied the prawns into 2 large buckets and I'm rinsing them thoroughly and then draining the water. And I'm going to be doing this a couple of times until the water is pretty much clear. And we're going to grab a trusty pair of scissors and cut off the whiskers and the legs. We're gonna dive right into the first style, and that is sashimi. That's right, straight up raw. And we're gonna use a ice pack as our base and wrapping it in a small sheet of plastic wrap. The ice pack will help to keep the meat from becoming mushy. I like to use the tiny prawns for sashimi and saving the big ones for the boiling or the steaming. Make sure you have a firm grasp of the tail, and then using the other hand, you're going to twist and take off the head. And with the same hand and same grasp, you're going to use your thumb to peel it from one side to the other. And you're going to peel just enough to leave the tail on. And one last step is deveining the prawn. You're going to see this little intestinal tract, and you're going to pull that right out from the body. You can also butterfry the prawns a bit to make it more muscly by running the knife down its back, but I just like it this way, and you just chill on the ice pack and you're done. And my favorite simple dip is the wasabi and soy sauce.
Here is the raw sashimi style of the spot prawn. I've dipped it in wasabi and soy sauce. Ooh, it's spicy. It's like a marbled texture. Got a nice crunch to it. That's what happens when you have fresh spot prawns. You gotta eat it raw.
And jumping right into our second style, it is steamed. Yes, steamed with lots of garlic and green onion. We're gonna start off by mincing up some garlic into small pieces like this. Then we're gonna get some green onion and using a paring knife to slice it very thinly lengthwise. So we're going to use the whole spot prawn and slice it down the whole center through the head and right down through the body. This will help us open it up and be the base for the garlic and the green onions. And we're going to proceed by rinsing out the head of any impurities that are unnecessary, but we're going to leave the guts faux show because that stuff is the best. Grab a heat-proof dish, perfect for your steamer, and you're gonna load up the prawns with the bodies facing up, getting ready to be fully loaded. Are we fully loaded? Nah, it ain't herbs. As you can see, I've sort of alternated them so that it makes enough space for them all on the dish. Here comes the super fun part because you're gonna be loading up the bodies with all the chopped up garlic. I mean, here, you don't be shy. Put some more. Then of course, you're gonna add all those thinly sliced green onions to top it all off. Once your steamer is obviously steaming, we're gonna put your plate on and cover it for 2 to 3 minutes, essentially when it becomes steaming piping hot again. Uncover those beauties and oof, that looks off the chain, you know what I'm saying? Look at that, look at that. Oh, beautiful. Okay, here we have the garlic and the spring onion, green onion, steamed style prawn. And you just use a fork to kind of take it out. Woo! Ooh. The key is not to steam it, over steam it. So sweet. Sorry, I'm not reading in lens. It's too zoomed up. But make sure you eat the little guts in the head too. So good. High cholesterol, but once a year, you know what I'm saying? And the third style is boiled. Straight up put into the boiling water. No fuss, no stress. Only for a few minutes until it is boiling once, and you are gonna take it right back out after that. But of course, you want a very nice sauce to dip those babies in because this takes it to a whole nother level. Yup, that means we need to chop up a bit more garlic and some green onions. And a major pro tip here is actually heating up some oil on the stove and then pouring it all on top to elicit all those flavors of the green onion and garlic. And if you like some spice in your life, which I do, you're gonna take some red or bird's eye chili peppers and adding it to the mix. I have some pickled chilies from the same brand as the Lao Gan Ma. Add a bit of sesame oil on top. Then we're gonna top it all off with my utmost favorite seasoned soy sauce for seafood. Yes, this is the green labeled one from Lee Kum Kee, and you're just gonna douse it all in that. If you find the soy sauce to be quite concentrated, feel free to add some water to dilute it just a tad. Personal preference, you can add a dash of white sugar to sweeten it up. That's if you use the regular soy sauce as well. And nonetheless, you will need to mix and combine everything thoroughly. Look at that beauty. And back to the prawns. Once they come up to a boil, you're just gonna take them straight out and put them into a bowl. No need to rinse them off because you're gonna enjoy them piping hot. Alright, and this is the straight up blanched, just hot water, boiling water for a few minutes. Spot prawn. Twist off the head. Look at all those guts in there. Maximize flavor in this one. Hold the tail end and peel off the sides. Oh, this is so beautiful. Look at that. This is cause damn. Dip it in that chili sauce and then boom. Look at that, baby. That's honestly the best way to eat it. Right, Dad? Blanch it. Dip in that soy sauce. Or mix. Ooh, I could add a bit more red chilies, but the third one, optimal texture, sweetness is in there. Can't go wrong with that one. What? So delicious.
Nice try some.
So so bouncy, that bite. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. And here's a little cheeky bonus for you who stayed tuned and watched this far. What's very vital is that you do not throw these away, but rather you save it for a prawn head stock. That's what I'm talking about. You do not waste a thing. Okay, so we have added all of the prawn heads and the bodies that we didn't end up cooking into the stock. Also added onions, peppercorns, bay leaf, and green onion stock. I've essentially brought it up to a boil, and then I'm gonna scoop away all those, I forgot what it's called, oh dear. But yeah, that's all the nasty stuff you don't want in your stock. And this would be good for any, you just treat it like a chicken stock of sorts. But maybe Korean dishes would be good for that because they often use seafood stock or bases for their dishes. Just skimming the top. So the key is to bring everything up to a boil so that all the impurities kind of float to the top, and then you skim it. And then you actually turn it on to a very low fire after. Essentially I've already done that whole thing over there. And then you turn it to a very low fire, and then you simmer it for however long you want it to be concentrated in the stock. I'll probably do it for an hour or so.
There you have it, 3 plus 1 bonus way to eat and prepare your BC Sprott prawns. If you haven't yet, I would highly recommend getting on top of it because they are still big, juicy, and delicious. Hey you, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't yet, feel free to hit subscribe, like, or even place a comment below. And if you want to stay tuned every Friday, make sure you hit that notification bell. See you next time.